Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Wednesday, February 7th, 2024.
But before I walk you through the charts, as usual, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel, share the content if you would with friends and colleagues, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos just like this one. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, that is the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 ETFs. Weekly analysis in the S&P 500 Index, the NASDAQ 100 Index, the Long Bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube. That is 8 a month that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. We're always looking for at least 20% moves on those stock picks, and you can check out all of this for no cost for 5 days. We offer a 5-day free trial up front with a wickedstocks.com subscription. So sign up for wickedstocks.com, check it all out. If you don't like what you see within 5 days, you can cancel your subscription at no cost to you whatsoever.
Let's take a look at the charts, the big picture, and then we'll work our way into the day itself. This is a weekly chart. This shows a long-term buy signal that occurred last May when we closed above the 163.22 to 164.64 band of channel resistance, now support. Off that July high, we fell back to this support area, tested it a number of times over the course of a month and a half, and then came off of it nicely in October. Following that rally off of that area in October, we also settled above this newly formed descending channel top that is this week at 177.25, which has now for the last month been holding selling pressures in its own right. And it is above 177.25 that I'm anticipating new move highs over the next month, 2 or 3. And that is a base of support to buy into. We've come pretty close to testing it. Even on the daily chart, you can see, where are you? Right in this zone here, you can see this was the actual test about, I don't know, a month ago, early January, when we fell to that channel support. This is the same structure, but on the daily chart. We also have a descending channel bottom that is based on these recent highs. That all comes together between 176.53 and 177.43, with 177.25 being the same descending channel top that I showed earlier on the weekly chart. So lots going on in a simple, almost 90, well, exactly a 90-cent range of long-term support. And I don't know why I'm spending so much time talking about it, because we're not going to see it today. But if it were tested over the next week or two, I would expect it to contain selling through March trade, and above which new highs, new all-time highs. This 199.62 high from December is the all-time high so far. I expect that to be violated in the weeks ahead. Very recently, on Monday, we actually opened and closed above trend-defining descending one-third speed line that today is at 184.79, can contain weekly selling pressures, and above which 192.20 remains a 3 to 5 day target. We're a couple of days into that. We might test 192.20 today. I will say on the way up, 189.44. We haven't tested it yet, but it is nothing more than a 50% upside Fibonacci from the December high to the more recent low put out last Friday. It can contain intraday buying pressures, possibly for the day itself. Although having closed above the 184.79 speed line, I do see momentum is clearly skewed to the upside. So be careful selling 189.44, because I am anticipating 192.20 over the next 3 to 5 days. And yes, if we push or open today above 189.44, I would expect 192.20 today, where we can place a daily high, potentially fall away from here into later week. You never really know how these things are going to play out exactly. It is sort of a kind of a broad brushstroke, subjective call. But I will say, and this is the other point I wanted to make about 184.79, it was after having tested long-term support in the upper 170s quite a bit, actually, over the last month or so, having closed above 184.79, I do think this market is likely over the next 2 to 3 weeks to push into the 195.90 to 197.88 region. So that remains true above 184.79. Any dips into the 184.79 level area can be considered buy opportunities into the mid to upper 190s. that might mean reaching for 195 or 197 strike out of the money calls that don't expire for at least a month, maybe 6 weeks out on expiration. Upside 192.20 can contain daily buying pressures, and if we close today above 192.20, you can expect 195.90 by Friday's close, 197.88 by the end of next week, where we could top out on a weekly basis, possibly through the rest of February. And I also say that closing above 197.88 is a significant buy signal. As we move into March trade, I would expect the 210s within 2 to 3 to 5 weeks or so of closing above 197.88. But we're a long way from that right now, and we're not really showing it in illustrative terms. One thing I do want to mention is that if we do close today back below 184.79, that does indicate a good weekly high, and the market then likely to cascade south by the end of next week back into this 176.53 to 177 and a quarter region, where once again we can bottom out through March and turn higher to new highs within 2 to 3 months or sooner of testing the 176.53 to 177.43 region. This is an area that I'm not expecting to see anymore. I do think following the settlement above 184.79 that occurred on Monday that we are likely to see 197.88 before we are to see 176.53. And it's about as simple as that. And yes, if we close today above 192.20, you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader. That's your next go long opportunity. Otherwise, you might be buying dips at 184.79 in anticipation of the same up to 192.20. I think that pretty much rounds it out. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. On Tuesday, we put out a 10-minute video articulating a stock pick in Alibaba, the Chinese online retailer. It is on the precipice of putting out a long-term buy signal, but not just yet, but very close. It may satisfy those conditions by Friday's close, in which case we're expecting about a 20% rally, roughly, over the next several months. So you want to check that out. You can do so for free by going to wickedstocks.com. I'll be back tomorrow with Thursday's Apple Report, and you have a great evening.